You may be older than me, Zevi, but I haven't been a boy in a long time. I can take care of myself." I let the words fall hard between me and my eldest cousin, thrilling a little at the flare of indignation in his eyes. Zevi rarely reacted to my jabs, so it gave me a jolt of satisfaction to see him flinch. He was almost as arrogant as Hanan sometimes, and I knew no one as self-satisfied as my uncle. Ever since my cousins and I had crept up onto the ridge to watch the selection of the new king of Israel early this morning, I'd been aching to get closer to the gathering. Now that I'd seen a fellow Benjamite named Saul ben Kish anointed as sovereign, no one was going to stop me from finding out what was going on in the valley below. I turned my back on Zevi's judgmental glare, but caught sight of the frustration on Shalem's face as I did. The youngest of the four of us, Shay, hated being left behind more than anything. I couldn't blame him. I'd lose my mind if Zevi and Avidan coddled me the way they did him, terrified that his parents would flay them alive if he was hurt. The boy needed to toughen up. Eov and Hodiah couldn't wrap their precious youngest in thick wool for the rest of his days. Perhaps I should have invited Shay, since he was the only one curious about which warriors had already offered their swords to the new king. But getting close enough to hear what the men were saying was going to be hard enough without a sniveling pup underfoot pelting me with 1,000 questions. There was no easy path down from the granite ridge where we'd been spying on the proceedings, and the underbrush was thick after the long rainy season. But I knew these hills like I knew my favorite blade, and it was easy enough to ghost barefooted through the trees and pluck my way among the boulders until I was within earshot of the group gathered around Saul. From the snatches of conversation that floated toward me, I guessed most of them to be Benjamite, but there were a few others whose subtle accents indicated they hailed from the north. Perhaps Ephraim or western Manasseh. I'd never cared much about who might sit on the throne of Israel before now. I only wanted a leader to crush our enemies. But when it had been a man of my own tribe selected, pride for my lineage swept through me like never before. From the very beginning, when the youngest of Yaakov's sons were born, the other tribes had looked down on Benjamin, but not anymore.